what would you say to the version of you 1 year ago that just listened to this podcast, that here you are now 1 year later on the podcast?
I know. I just thought about that before, as I was driving in. I didn't even allow myself, because I just finished Healing Through Heartbreak workshop, like a series. And the last one was yesterday. So my focus up until now has been on that. And then I woke up this morning, I was like, oh my God.
Like full circle.
Yes. Like, I'm going to be on the podcast. Like a year ago, like I had just signed up and I was like a few months into DCI. Actually, I have it. I'll share it with you. But a year ago around this time, I was actually going on my Instagram telling people that I decided to pursue coaching and to become a Dharma coach, and that I was taking on 5 women as I got my certification hours. And so now to come full circle and also be like, and now I'm actually soft launching my divorce coaching and declaring myself as that, because I didn't know which way I want to go. Because, we say we're so multifaceted. And I was like, well, I could coach people on so many different things. But the one thing that was very clear, which I feel like it should have been clear to me, but I couldn't see it up until about a month ago, was no, I'm meant to help people through healing their heartbreak, whether it's divorce, separation, or like a long-term breakup, because I'm not that far removed from it. And I'm actually still in the tail end of it, but I'm not letting that stop me. And I haven't let that stop me. So yeah, like as I was putting my makeup on this morning in the mirror, I was literally talking to myself and I was like, bitch, you did that. Like, you weren't even sure you were going to do this like a month ago. You were like, should I, shouldn't I? I'm just going to go for it.
Imagine it's like, how many times have we seen like the email of like, here's a program and whatever. And you're just like, and I love how you listen to your intuition. Cause I will say like, there's so many different programs and stuff out there and you felt into your own intuition. There was one you were considering and then, you saw my video. And the thing is, it's like heartbreak is an initiation. Like, and I feel women who have gone through it, it's like, oh, I see you. Like, I know, like when you said about the deep cries that your ancestors, I know those cries deeply. And it's like these guttural wails of all of our grandmothers that this cycle has happened again and again, the abuse, the abandonment, the disregard of the womb, and so many of our grandmothers could not leave. They had to stay, but then they would swallow their pain.
Oh, I'm getting chills as you're saying this.
Pass it to their children and just in little passive aggressive remarks, just say like, don't trust men and, things like that. But they were stuck because they were financially, it all comes down to money. They were financially dependent on these men and these men knew that. So they're like, I can cheat on you. I can abuse you. I can be an alcoholic, all these different things. Where are you going to go? And it was a fact because back in those days, I mean, really until the 1960s, women could not work, and I'm in my family, I'm the first woman to work because they come from Iran, and that is why living your Dharma, your soul's purpose, to me is the most important thing for women because it gives you the freedom. The fact that you had from your nursing career and now from your coaching career, it gives you the freedom to live where you want to live, travel if you want to travel, do what you want to do. And I feel so many women are still in these relationships because they don't have another opportunity, and that's why it's like, and if you're in it, like, don't feel like you're stuck there and there's always a way. And please, if you're in an abusive relationship, leave as soon as possible. And I have so much compassion for women who are like, I need time. I need time to figure it out because there is figuring out to do. And some of us, it's just, we kind of jump in like mine. As soon as I found out about the infidelity, I was like, I'm out. But then it was just like overnight, like all my stuff's in storage. I have no idea what I'm going to do now. And some people, they just need more time. They have kids. It's just different,
Yeah.
And that's why it's just building that block. Like, maybe you didn't know you were going to be a coach, but you're like, at least I'm going to put my energy somewhere. And I so resonated with what you said about like waiting for those papers, like I was like, oh, I can't wait until like I'm legally divorced. Like I was like waiting for that. And now I'm like, why did I give that so much energy? It's not like I've ever even, it was like an email. So I looked at that paper, but I was like, I can't like move on with my life until it's like legally done. And it's like the heart heals on its own time. It has nothing to do with a piece of paper. And it's like how much power we give to these pieces of paper. So what advice do you have for the version of you 1 year ago that was listening to this podcast that was like, I'm not sure if I can be a coach. I'm still in it. I don't have my shit figured out. What would you say to that version of you?
Wow. I mean, I would just tell her, you may not know where this is going to lead, but it's sure as hell a lot better than where you are right now. And I'm willing to gamble on that. And I'm really glad that I did, because I really didn't know. I thought, oh, maybe I'll do breath work like locally and I'll still be a nurse for the rest of my life, or, just like something on the side, something that will add fulfillment, as opposed to, as I went through the program, I was just like, actually, I would love my coaching to be my primary source of income and let nursing be like an option or an add-on, right? So definitely just telling myself to go for it, because whatever I feel may be on the other side, it could be that, or it could be even something greater. And I think that's something that I stuck with through the entire part of my journey in terms of going through DCI, but also just through my divorce. Like, if it's not this, it's something greater. It has to be, because before I was a planner, there was always a plan B, a plan C. Like there was always like a safety net of like, there's something else. I did not give myself another option. Like, this is it. I am my own safety net now. Before, I used to think like, how am I going to do all of this on my own? How am I going to live on my own? How am I going to do all these things on my own? Well, when I moved out, I realized, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's actually a lot easier on my own. Yeah. It's a lot easier on my own. Granted, divorce is hard, that I won't take away. It is very hard. But there were some parts where I could actually just relax. Like, I could just be with myself, figure it out on my own without outside influences of like, what would he do? What would he say? How would my parents do it? Just by myself, find my own community, new soul-aligned friendships, partnerships, dating. I mean, that's been...
Dating is challenging.
Yeah, dating is another story. I'm not like... my heart is open though. So I will say this. In the beginning of my separation, I just remember telling my mom, if I could love what I knew love to be, right? The attachment. We know that it's attachment now, but if I could love someone this much from such a wounded place, I can only imagine how much more I can pour into and receive from a healed place with the right person. And I don't know if people want to call that like delusional or like woo-woo, but like I live there because I'm like, if there's someone like me out there and I exist, someone that matches me out there exists as well, that has the capacity to love and hold the way that I do. And I hold on to that every day. Anytime I forget, I'm like, girl, if you're here, your match is out here somewhere. And you just got to continue doing you, keeping your heart open, be discerning, trust your gut, and they'll appear.